Pisces.
Hello Pisces, this is your forecast for July 2014. And what a fabulous month for you. Not only is the sun here now and the new moon in your sister sign of Cancer, but it's also in your 5th house for true love. And so who knows, there might be something new for those of you who are single. For those of you in a relationship, it is a great relationship month just to have a lot of fun and joy and creativity. It is in fact in the area of creativity. And above and beyond just the love factor that's coming in, it's also the love that you're going to be placing into the creative forces that you're working with. And Jupiter now has been inspiring you for a whole year in this area, and you're going out in flying colors, so to speak. Why? Well, because Jupiter now is going to be changing signs. It's moving out of Cancer into the sign of Leo, which will definitely turn a page for you when it has to do with daily routines, your day-to-day streamlining of your schedules and how you can work more efficiently. And you'll come to see here that from the end of this month, how Jupiter will definitely be putting that on the map for you. Why? Because your life is just about to expand big time, and in order to be the most productive and get more done is to have a good schedule. So that's, you know, the focus of this coming year. So it's not all going to need to be done all at once, but from July 17th, this is when Jupiter is done with the creative think tank that you've been having. You know, you've been expanding so many of your ideas, hopes, dreams, talents, and skills, and so a lot of you have definitely been doing a lot. But the sun in this area, the new moon is a little late this month, coming in here on the 22nd, and so the intentions is that the joy and the happiness that I've had in my creativity, in the playfulness of all this, well, I intend to continue to be as creative, you know, throughout the year in the coming months. That's a great intention to have. Now, before I leave the whole 5th house scenario, 5th house also rules children. Great time for some of you Pisces to get pregnant if that is what you're looking for. It's a very fertile sign, Cancer is. 5th house, since it is children, yes, absolutely. So anytime there around the new moon, great time to become pregnant. But the sun and Jupiter is there, so, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly on that new moon. Then we have the 4th house. This is Mercury and Venus. And in June, Mercury was going through the 4th house. Home, family situation, documents, papers, buying, selling, that kind of thing. And Mercury being retrograde, maybe you had to redo something or re-sign something, a lease or property in the buy-sell process, or it could be things that you have going on with family here, and money too, because Venus is here and Mars is up in that 8th house, so it might be money that you have together with family members, inheritance, for example. There might have been something there that's been looked into, or businesses where you have shared resources. But Venus here is going to be until July 19th, so you'll see that in this time you will have a great time to reunite with family members from afar, and this reunion I see is going to go off in a very happy note. In the sign of Gemini, I see a lot of communication, a lot of sharing, a lot of catching up, right? And it's heartfelt, and there's a lot of love to go around there. Mercury has been retrograde, is moving forward, and will move out of the home area here on July 14th, going into that 5th house of creativity. So you're going to be extending it. Even though Jupiter is moving out, you will still have the sun, new moon, and you'll have Mercury here, extending it throughout that of July and into August. So I'm seeing here also, your finances might have been a little seesaw here, wobbly. I think a lot of you Pisceans have been able to look at how new potential can come in to help you crunch numbers, look at primary as well as secondary income streams, and some of it is very refreshing, very innovative, very entrepreneurial, and I see a lot of you are really wanting to break out of, you know, the whole treadmill, working for others. So, you know, if you're thinking of starting a new business right now, you might have been doing so since last summer when Jupiter kind of angled up into this area of your income. And a lot of you are already up and flying, and this is wonderful. It is great news. And the rest of you will still have your chance, because Uranus is going to be in your second house for income for still a number of years to go or come. And but as far as like really looking at royalties and commissions, now I think that's something that's been on your mind ever since December, when Mars went into that 8th house of yours. And so you've been going back and forth, and even though you might have felt that you're still not really flying with it. Why? Because Mars has been retrograde too. It slowed things down. However, though, I know, Pisces, that you will come to see, if you don't already see it, and I think you do because you're so perceptive, is that the extended time that the universe gave you with Mars here in this area has allowed you to really work deeply with elongated time on how you can increase for the long run residual income and bonuses, or also royalties in this area. Because normally Mars flies so fast that you might have a great idea, but then, you know, it moves so fast that you don't have time to ground it before the next idea comes, and then the next idea, because you're perpetual this way, always receiving a lot of creative streams, right? So this slowdown, I think, is something that you're really happy and grateful for. Now, Mars is moving out of here July 27th. So whatever long-haul ideas, concepts that you do have that can ensure, you know, long-term royalties, you have this month to wrap it up, okay? Because once we get into August, Mars is gone. That's time to launch and start things and get it up and out there to the world, which I see you will do. So I'm really excited for doing your August chart, just because not only is Mars then in the 9th house, but it's also going to be catching up with Saturn there. And a lot of you Pisceans have already started mastering this skill of a larger, what should I say, audience. I'd like to call it audience because it's the 9th house. It's out towards the world. So it may be classes that you teach. Now Mars is going to be hitting on that Saturn, ricocheting over there to that 11th house also, which is an audience, because the 11th house is groups and organizations, and it's the web, it's the internet. Pluto is there, and it's trying to transform this whole entire area for you so that you can really up and lift like a kite. So August is going to be really exciting. Before we get there, let's talk about that full moon in that 11th house where Pluto is, because we're going to have a very powerful full moon, which will be July 12th. Mark it on your calendar. It will be here in the area of groups, organizations, and Pluto always starts new things, all right? It initiates, sparks the new. But in that, saying that, in order to get into that new room, got to leave an old room. It's like stepping over the threshold. So I'm feeling the threshold here is July 12th, and this is something that you've been working on for a long time. So it will be exciting to see exactly what takes place for you on the 12th and where you're at on the 13th. Okay, so a birthing of something new. You know, the full moon normally brings us a harvest of those things that we've been working on. But it's also emotionally felt, because the moon rules our emotions, and you are Pisces, right? So you might feel that some of this is really going to be stirred up. And where and how can this stir up? Well, it's coming in the area of groups, and it's also in opposition to the 5th house of creativity. So there's something going on in the creative fields now that might just shoot or launch here around the 12th. The days before and after as well, just because the moon, as it approaches Pluto, touches Pluto, passes Pluto, in that area, right, it's going to be opposing the sun. And then also Mercury might have moved in there by then. Let's see, Mercury, not in the opposition of it, but on the 14th, 2 days later, Mercury will be joining that area, that crowd that has just now then transformed. So that should be picking up that energy. So a lot of things going on there. Saturn is still holding you, but not for that much longer. It's been retrograde for 5 months in your 9th house of higher education and mentoring, teaching, or also studying, learning. And it will be now moving direct from July 21st. So that will start picking up steam for you from that day forward until it's going to leave the 9th house. Then it's going to move into your career house. That's not before they're in December. So you have these last few months to wrap up what started here over 2 years ago. Saturn takes 2.5 years in a transit. So it will be wrapping up and launching you into 2015. And there it will be for 2.5 years as you rise to the chart, rise to the top of your chart, should I say, in the career area with Saturn. So added responsibility, more focus. There's going to be a whole lot more now that's going to be with responsibility weighing on your shoulders. But it is something you've worked for, so it's definitely something that you will see as an achievement, and those around you will also see it as an achievement. That's 2015 for you. So here on the 4th, we have the Sun and Pluto opposed to one another. This is starting off a theme that we're going to have this month. It's between the 5th and the 11th house, creativity and groups. There might be, this opposition might create a focus that you're going to look at, maybe a choice that's going to be made and needed. And then on the 7th, we have the unexpected here between Venus and Uranus, which for you is between the 2nd house and the 4th house. So money and home, something unexpected taking place there that you will be looking at. It could be a gift, it could just be something maybe news oriented, as far as if you're looking to buy or rent, you may find it here. Around the 7th there is something really nice. On the 9th, we have you and Saturn making a beautiful trine. This is between the 5th house of creativity, the 9th house of foreign cultures, people and places, and also you reaching out to the higher realms. So something's coming in here that I see that you're going to anchor in. Maybe it's some news that you're going to give out to somebody out there, which is going to have a long-term effect. Might just be a creative decision that you're making and somehow anchoring it, okay? And more on that as the months come, because when you get to November, I really see whatever you're deciding here now in July is going to take off here, November, big time. On the 13th, a romantic date, Venus and Mars doing the dance, so you are extra charismatic, and so is your partner. A beautiful day, evening here for the two of you. And if you're single, Pisces, it's a great time to go out and meet somebody, all right? And it could be quite intense and powerful. It is the 5th and the 8th house involved. So yes, that is really taking out a lot of sentiments and feelings. On the 19th, though, here we are coming back to the theme that started there on the 4th. Mercury and Neptune now is having an intuitive thought, an idea, a concept, a vision, and I see you speaking with somebody about it. For you, it is the 1st and the 4th house. So I would like, well, actually, Mercury has moved into your 5th house at this time, okay? So Mercury is wanting to express a creative idea, concept, and Neptune is that 1st house of self that's there. So I'm thinking that whatever it is you're seeing now holds the potential for something that can really be a golden key down the road. All right, so, and you might already know here earlier on what it is, but on the 19th, I see action being taken. And then, also because the Sun and Mars here, they're squaring on each other, so Mars is antsy, wants to get on with something new, something dynamic that there's a drive in, right? So on the 22nd, though, Mercury, the same Mercury that has the inspired thought from Neptune, is now questioning Pluto out there in the groups. You know, is this a go? Is this something that you guys want? Pluto out there in the 11th house, which is group and organizations, might respond to this. So it's more like, what do they want and what can I give them? All right, so you will see that vacillation going on. On the 24th, then I'm seeing that Venus is going to step it up even to a larger thing, because Mercury will think the thought, think that vision, and Venus will come in and see that vision or put money behind it. And I'm seeing how beautifully something is going to be opening up for you on that 24th, which really ties in with what you've been dreaming about. Maybe it's a dream house, okay? Or if you've been thinking about wanting to move, well, you know, Venus here is in the 4th house of real estate, property, and whatnot. From the 19th, however, it's moved into that 5th house. So that might be earlier in the month that you've been working and planning on the real estate part. But then as we get in there to that 24th, it will be meeting up with Mercury that's in that creative thought stream, and then adding to it extra creativity. Venus loves that 5th house, okay? So it's like, yeah, that's going to be great. And maybe whatever it is you're talking about or starting here on the 24th, it will be questioned on the 28th, with that very same Venus, you know, with the vision of Neptune, is now going to oppose Pluto, the groups out there, just like Mercury approached the groups out there, or the groups connecting with you. You know, they may connect with you now with Venus. So something went out, and then there's some interaction with something even greater, more expansive, more meat to the bone, so to speak, and then that will be tested on the 28th. So hey, listen, July is like, it is created for you. It has all the things that you want, been waiting for, and you know, we see these shifts as Mercury changes sign this month. It goes out from Gemini to Cancer on the 14th. We got Jupiter on the 17th, I'm sorry, out of Cancer into Leo on the 17th, and then Mars, Venus, should I say, on the 19th, excuse me, also out of Gemini into Cancer. And then we have the 27th, that's Mars after the 8-month journey here, where it has been in Libra, is moving into Scorpio. And that's going to be quite exciting, because that is then going to be working as a sister sign to Pisces, giving you a whole lot of drive there in August. So we'll talk more about that next month. But for now, listen to your moon and your rising sign, Pisces. I'll see you in August.